Was Marilyn Monroe's death truly a suicide, or does a deeper conspiracy lie beneath her tragic end? Who was responsible for the brutal murders of Elizabeth Short, famously known as the Black Dahlia, and the rising star Sharon Tate? These haunting questions continue to echo through Hollywood's history, revealing a darker side of the entertainment industry. The mysterious and violent fates of these actresses not only captivated the public, but also highlighted the vulnerabilities and perils that can accompany fame. Delving into their stories exposes the unsettling intersection of celebrity, obsession, and tragedy in the pursuit of stardom. Virginia Rappe. Virginia Rappe was a silent film actress and model in the early 20th century. On September 5, 1921, she attended a party hosted by the famous comedian Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle at the St. Francis Hotel in San Francisco. During the party, Rappe became severely ill and was found in significant distress in one of the hotel rooms. She was taken to another room to rest, but her condition worsened. 4 days later, on September 9, 1921, Virginia Rappe died from peritonitis caused by a ruptured bladder. Maud Delmon, a friend who accompanied her to the party, accused Arbuckle of raping and accidentally killing Rappe. This led to Arbuckle being charged with manslaughter, initiating one of the first major scandals in Hollywood history. The case went through 3 trials. The first 2 ended in hung juries, but in the third trial, Arbuckle was acquitted, and the jury issued a formal apology. Despite the acquittal, Arbuckle's career was irreparably damaged due to the negative publicity. The scandal highlighted issues of media sensationalism and the moral scrutiny of Hollywood celebrities. Virginia Rappe's death remains a subject of speculation, with debates over whether it was the result of assault, a pre-existing medical condition, or excessive alcohol consumption. Thelma Todd. Thelma Todd was a successful actress and comedian during the late 1920s and early 1930s, appearing in over 100 films alongside stars like the Marx Brothers and Laurel and Hardy. On December 16, 1935, she was found dead in her car inside the garage of her business partner, Roland West, in Pacific Palisades, California. The official cause of death was carbon monoxide poisoning, and it was ruled accidental. Authorities believe she may have accidentally left the car running to keep warm after returning late from a party. However, several factors led to suspicions of foul play. Todd had been involved in a love triangle with Roland West and his wife, actress Jewel Carmen. Additionally, she had allegedly received threats from mobster Lucky Luciano, who wanted to involve her nightclub, Thelma Todd's Sidewalk Cafe, in illegal gambling operations, a proposition she refused. The coroner's inquest returned an open verdict, leaving room for speculation. Some theories suggest murder orchestrated by organized crime figures or personal acquaintances, while others propose suicide due to personal and professional pressures. Despite extensive investigations, no definitive evidence was found to support these theories. Thelma Todd's mysterious death remains an unsolved case that continues to intrigue historians and fans of classic Hollywood. Elizabeth Short, the Black Dahlia. Elizabeth Short, posthumously known as the Black Dahlia, was an aspiring actress whose brutal murder became one of the most infamous unsolved cases in American history. On January 15, 1947, her body was discovered in a vacant lot in Los Angeles, California. The body was severed at the waist and severely mutilated, with the corpse drained of blood and posed in a grotesque manner. Her face had been slashed from the corners of her mouth toward her ears, a wound known as a Glasgow smile. The media dubbed her the Black Dahlia, inspired by her reported preference for black clothing and possibly as a reference to the film The Blue Dahlia. The gruesome nature of the crime and Short's portrayal in the media led to widespread public fascination. The Los Angeles Police Department conducted an extensive investigation, interviewing hundreds of suspects, but no one was ever charged. The case was plagued by false confessions, media sensationalism, and potential mishandling of evidence. Over the years, numerous theories have emerged regarding the identity of the killer, including suggestions of involvement by physicians, Hollywood insiders, and even police corruption. Books, films, and documentaries have continued to explore the case, but Elizabeth Short's murder remains officially unsolved, symbolizing the darker side of Hollywood's golden age. Rosemarie Nitrit. Rosemarie Nitrit was a German woman whose murder became a significant post-war scandal in West Germany. Born into poverty, she became a high-class escort in Frankfurt, associating with wealthy and influential men, including businessmen and politicians. On October 29, 1957, Nitrit was found dead in her Frankfurt apartment. She had been strangled, and there were signs of a violent struggle. The case attracted massive media attention due to her connections with prominent figures, leading to speculation about the involvement of high-profile clients. The investigation faced numerous obstacles. Many potential witnesses were reluctant to come forward, and evidence was scarce. A man named Heinz Pohlmann was arrested and tried for her murder, but was acquitted due to lack of evidence. The unresolved case raised questions about social inequality, corruption, and the influence of the elite in post-war German society. It also sparked discussions about the legal system's handling of crimes involving marginalized individuals. Rosemarie Nitrit's murder remains unsolved, and her story has been adapted into films and books, symbolizing the intersection of wealth, power, and justice. Karin Kinet. Karin Kinet was an American actress who appeared in television series such as The Andy Griffith Show and G.E. True. She was the daughter of renowned Chicago columnist Irv Kinet. On November 28, 1963, Karin was found dead in her West Hollywood apartment by friends. Her death occurred just 6 days after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, leading to unfounded rumors that she was connected to the event. The autopsy revealed that she had been strangled, and her death was ruled a homicide. The investigation explored various leads, including ex-boyfriends and acquaintances, but no charges were filed. Some theories suggest that her death was linked to her involvement with drugs in the Hollywood party scene. Others speculate about accidental death due to drug-induced injury, although the coroner's report indicated foul play. Karin's father, Irv Kinet, vehemently denied any connection between his daughter and the Kennedy assassination. The case remains unsolved, and her death has become a haunting reminder of the darker aspects of Hollywood life during that era. Dorothy Kilgallen. Dorothy Kilgallen was a prominent journalist, television personality, an actress known for her investigative reporting and her role as a panelist on the game show What's My Line? She gained fame for her coverage of high-profile trials and was known for her probing questions and fearless approach. On November 8, 1965, Kilgallen was found dead in her Manhattan townhouse. The official cause of death was an overdose of alcohol and barbiturates, ruled accidental or possibly suicidal. However, her unexpected death sparked conspiracy theories, primarily because she had been investigating the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Kilgallen had conducted a private interview with Jack Ruby, the man who killed Lee Harvey Oswald, and claimed to have information that could expose new details about the assassination. Her notes and manuscript were reportedly missing after her death, fueling speculation that she was silenced to prevent her from revealing sensitive information. Despite these theories, no concrete evidence of foul play was established. Her death remains officially classified as accidental. Dorothy Kilgallen's legacy endures as a trailblazing journalist whose mysterious death continues to intrigue researchers and conspiracy theorists alike. Sharon Tate. Sharon Tate was a rising Hollywood actress and model, acclaimed for her performances in films like Valley of the Dolls and The Fearless Vampire Killers. Married to director Roman Polanski, Tate was 8.5 months pregnant at the time of her death. On August 9, 1969, members of the Manson family cult invaded her home at 10050 Cielo Drive in Los Angeles. Under the direction of cult leader Charles Manson, the followers brutally murdered Tate and 4 other occupants: Jay Sebring, Abigail Folger, Wojciech Frykowski, and Stephen Parent. Tate pleaded for the life of her unborn child, but was mercilessly stabbed multiple times. The following night, the Manson family committed additional murders, further terrorizing the community. The killings were part of Manson's delusional plan to incite a race war he called Helter Skelter, inspired by his interpretations of Beatles songs. The horrific nature of the crimes shocked the nation and marked a grim turning point in American culture. The subsequent trial received massive media coverage. Manson and his followers were convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment. Sharon Tate's death led to increased security measures among celebrities, and has been memorialized in films, books, and documentaries, symbolizing the end of the 1960s era of innocence. Barbara Colby. Barbara Colby was an accomplished stage and television actress known for her roles in The Mary Tyler Moore Show and Phyllis. She was praised for her comedic timing and vibrant performances. On the evening of July 24, 1975, after teaching an acting class in Venice, Los Angeles, Colby and a colleague, James Kiernan, were walking to their cars when they were approached by two men. Without any apparent motive, the assailants opened fire, shooting both actors. Colby died instantly while Kiernan succumbed to his injuries later at the hospital. The randomness of the attack baffled investigators. There was no robbery, assault, or known threats against either victim. Witnesses provided limited descriptions of the suspects, but despite extensive investigations, no arrests were made. Barbara Colby's untimely death was a significant loss to the acting community. Her murder remains unsolved, and the lack of closure adds to the tragedy. The case highlights the issue of random violence and its devastating impact on victims and their loved ones. Martha Moxley. Martha Moxley was a teenager living in the affluent neighborhood of Belle Haven in Greenwich, Connecticut. On the night before Halloween, known as Mischief Night, Martha attended a gathering with friends, including Thomas and Michael Skakel, nephews of Ethel Kennedy. The following day, Martha's body was found beneath a tree on her family's property. She had been bludgeoned and stabbed with a golf club, which was traced back to the Skakel household. The brutal murder shook the tight-knit community. Despite early suspicions, the case went cold due to a lack of evidence and the Skakel family's prominence. It wasn't until decades later, in 2000, that Michael Skakel was arrested and charged with Martha's murder. In 2002, he was convicted and sentenced to 20 years to life in prison. However, legal battles continued. In 2013, his conviction was overturned due to ineffective counsel, and he was released on bail in 2013. In 2018, the Connecticut Supreme Court vacated his conviction, and as of now, he has not been retried. Martha Moxley's murder remains a subject of public interest due to the involvement of a Kennedy family relative and the prolonged legal proceedings. Her case has been featured in books and television programs, reflecting ongoing debates about justice and privilege in the legal system. Christa Helm. Christa Helm was an aspiring actress and model who appeared in small roles on television shows like Wonder Woman and Starsky and Hutch. Ambitious and socially active, she kept detailed diaries and tape recordings of her encounters with influential figures in Hollywood, including alleged affairs with celebrities. On the night of February 12, 1977, Christa was stabbed and bludgeoned to death outside her agent's home in West Hollywood after attending a party. The violent nature of the crime and the existence of her diaries led to speculation about motives ranging from jealous lovers to silencing her to protect reputations. The investigation faced challenges due to the loss of key evidence, including her diaries and tapes, which were reportedly missing from her belongings. Witnesses provided limited information, and the case eventually went cold. Christa Helm's unsolved murder has been revisited in true crime shows and podcasts. The combination of her connections with high-profile individuals and the mysterious circumstances of her death continues to intrigue those interested in Hollywood's hidden secrets. Dorothy Stratton. Dorothy Stratton was a Canadian model and actress who gained prominence as Playboy's Playmate of the Month for August 1979 and Playmate of the Year in 1980. Discovered in Vancouver, she moved to Los Angeles to pursue a career in modeling and acting. Stratton married Paul Snyder, a small-time promoter who had facilitated her entry into Playboy. As her fame grew, she began an affair with film director Peter Bogdanovich and sought to end her marriage. On August 14, 1980, Stratton agreed to meet Snyder at their former home to discuss a financial settlement. During the meeting, Snyder, distraught over the breakup and her new relationship, shot and killed Stratton before turning the gun on himself in an apparent murder-suicide. Dorothy was found nude, killed by a shotgun blast to the face. The tragic end of Dorothy Stratton's life has been the subject of films, including Star 80, and books that explore the dangers of exploitation and obsession. Her death prompted discussions about the treatment of women in the entertainment industry and the vulnerabilities faced by young talents. Dominique Dunn. Dominique Dunn was an American actress, best known for her role as Dana Freeling in the horror film Poltergeist, 1982. Born into a family prominent in the arts, her father was writer Dominique Dunn, she appeared poised for a successful career. In 1981, Dominique began a relationship with John Thomas Sweeney, a sous chef at a high-end restaurant. The relationship quickly became abusive. After she ended the relationship, Sweeney sought reconciliation. On October 30th, 1982, Sweeney visited Dunn at her West Hollywood home, where an argument ensued. Outside the house, he strangled her, leaving her in a coma. After 5 days on life support, Dominique Dunn died on November 4th, 1982. Sweeney was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. During the trial, evidence of his abusive behavior was presented. However, he was convicted of voluntary manslaughter and served less than 4 years in prison, a sentence widely criticized as too lenient. Dominique Dunn's death brought attention to domestic violence and the legal system's handling of such cases. Her family became advocates for victims' rights, and her legacy continues to influence discussions on how to protect individuals from abusive relationships. Vicky Morgan. Vicky Morgan was a model who became known for her long-term affair with Alfred S. Bloomingdale, an heir to the Bloomingdale's department store fortune and a close associate of President Ronald Reagan. The affair, which lasted over a decade, provided her with a lavish lifestyle. After Bloomingdale's death in 1982, Morgan filed a palimony lawsuit against his estate, seeking financial support. The case drew significant media attention due to the lurid details of their relationship, including allegations of sexual practices and involvement with high-profile individuals. On July 7, 1983, Morgan was found bludgeoned to death with a baseball bat in her Los Angeles apartment. Her roommate, Marvin Pancoast, confessed to the murder, claiming he was driven by mental illness and resentment over unrequited feelings. Pancoast was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 26 years to life in prison. He died in custody in 1991. Vicky Morgan's death highlighted issues of mental health and the exploitation that can occur within relationships marked by power imbalances. The scandal surrounding her life and death has been the subject of books and media investigations. Ethel Merman. Ethel Merman was a legendary Broadway star known for her powerful voice and starring roles in musicals like Anything Goes, Annie Get Your Gun, and Gypsy. Her career spanned 5 decades, and she became an icon of American musical theater. Ethel Merman died on February 15, 1984, from natural causes related to brain cancer. She was 76 years old. Merman was not a victim of murder. Including her in a list of actresses who were murdered is factually incorrect. Her passing was mourned by the entertainment industry, and she is remembered for her significant contributions to theater and film. Her legacy continues to inspire performers, and her recordings remain popular with fans of classic Broadway music. Susan Cabot. Susan Cabot was an American actress known for her roles in B-movies during the 1950s, including The Wasp Woman. She had a career in film and television, often portraying strong, alluring characters. On December 10, 1986, Cabot was killed by her son, Timothy Scott Roman, in their Encino, California home. Roman, who suffered from psychological issues due to a hormonal deficiency treated with experimental drugs, bludgeoned his mother with a weightlifting bar. During the trial, Roman's defense argued that he acted in self-defense, claiming his mother had attacked him during a mental breakdown. Evidence was presented about Cabot's own struggles with mental health and the complex, tumultuous relationship between mother and son. Roman was convicted of involuntary manslaughter and received a suspended sentence with probation, considering the mitigating circumstances of his mental health and the nature of their relationship. The case shed light on the challenges of mental illness and the potential side effects of experimental medical treatments. Judith Bary. Judith Bary was a talented child actress who appeared in numerous commercials, television shows, and films. She provided the voice for characters in animated movies such as The Land Before Time and All Dogs Go to Heaven. Born to Hungarian immigrants Josef and Maria Bary on June 6, 1978, Judith began acting at a young age. Despite her professional success, her home life was troubled. Her father, Josef, was an alcoholic with a history of abusive behavior towards his wife and daughter. On July 25, 1988, in a tragic act of family annihilation, Josef shot and killed Judith while she slept, then murdered Maria before setting their house on fire and committing suicide. The murders shocked the community and the entertainment industry. The case highlighted the failures of the system to protect Judith and her mother, despite signs of abuse and previous interventions. Her death led to increased awareness and changes in how child actors are monitored for signs of domestic abuse. Judith Bary is remembered for her remarkable talent and the tragic circumstances of her death. Rebecca Schaeffer. Rebecca Schaeffer was an American actress best known for her role as Patty Russell on the television sitcom My Sister Sam. Her promising career was cut short by a tragic and senseless act of violence. On July 18, 1989, Robert John Bardo, an obsessed fan who had been stalking Schaeffer for 3 years, went to her Los Angeles apartment. After obtaining her address through a private investigator who accessed DMV records, Bardo confronted Schaeffer at her doorstep. When she answered the door, he shot her point blank in the chest. She was rushed to the hospital but died shortly after. Bardo was arrested the next day and later convicted of first-degree murder, receiving a life sentence without the possibility of parole. The murder led to significant changes in laws regarding stalking and the privacy of personal information. California enacted the nation's first anti-stalking law, and measures were implemented to protect individuals' addresses from public records. Rebecca Schaeffer's death underscored the dangers of celebrity stalking and had a profound impact on how such cases are handled legally. Her legacy includes increased awareness and legal protections for stalking victims, aiming to prevent similar tragedies in the future.